A really great friend of the show is here to talk some hoops. Sports Illustrated writer, NBA insider, Chris Mannix. Chris can't recognize the studio without any Nutella in it. He was unbelievably surprised to hear that I'm living healthier these days because I went into a diabetic coma.
Surprised doesn't even begin to describe it. I mean, do you have to throw everything out in that kitchen once you make that decision? Because last time I was here, there was nothing healthy in that kitchen. You mentioned the Nutella.
Including Bichetti.
Including Bichetti.
Bichetti was the healthiest thing in the kitchen.
He just took it all home to his mom's house, right? Just brought that stuff back
really?
home.
My God, Mike.
I've been eating well.
No, he's starting to eat better too, Chris.
Is he?
We've become a health food store.
Well, during the break, John says he had 6 cases of Coke Zero.
He's unhealthy. He had 6. What did you just say? You had 6
well, I
cases?
didn't realize it until now. Marie just said that I drank 6 cases of Cherry Coke Zero this week.
You know, when he used to get so mad as a kid, he would get erections.
I would love.
That's not something that you just tell everyone, man.
Well, you told America.
You did. I couldn't deny it.
Thank God you went into football is my point. You became a great football
Otherwise,
player.
I would have an erection right now.
No, you probably would have been a serial killer who murdered people with erection.
I tell you what, I would love to cover for a segment you going to Whole Foods and seeing you just shop around see what you would pick up there.
Hey, my girlfriend shopped there a couple times. She found some good stuff over there, like mozzarella and stuff, and but organic. Everything's organic. Is that it? But what's organic even mean? That means it tastes good, right?
They don't have organic Nutella.
They don't have organic.
Just a guess.
Listen, you're an NBA insider. I thought of the greatest slogan for the NBA. You know, Jason Collins came out as being gay, and they have a guy in the NBA, Rudy Gay. How about this? NBA, the only league with a gay guy and a guy named Gay.
And you go with the old NBC music, too,
right,
from 1996.
The NBA, a gay guy and a guy named Gay. I used to love that.
David Stern's on the way out the door. See if you can pitch it to him.
David Stern seems like he's too uptight for that cutting-edge slogan.
Come on, he's easy going.
All right, so give me, I mean, to me, I'm of the attitude, Chris, again. It's like, the Pacers, they steal one tonight. Okay, great. It's inevitable.
They're not stealing it, though. I mean, they're a great team.
All right.
And they should have won.
They're about to go down 2-0.
They could have won the first game.
I mean, look, God, that game 1 was brutal. I mean, that was their game. I mean,
now, who do you blame for that? Everybody.
I blame Paul George.
Right.
Paul George. You know, look, it's 20/20 hindsight, but what happens if Roy Hibbert's in that game and Chris Bosh is wide open for an 18-foot jump shot?
Yeah.
And I get the argument that a jump shot is much more preferable than a layup. So if Chris Bosh beats you on a jump shot, rather that than LeBron making a layup. But look, he put good defenders on the floor. Tyler Hansbrough is a good defender.
Right.
And if Paul George doesn't step up a half a step there and overplay LeBron James, we're talking about LeBron taking a contested 16, 17-foot jump shot. And you live with that because Paul George is maybe the best defender in the league.
Make him beat
at his position.
Right. Make LeBron beat you.
He blew it. He blew it. And, you know, and Vogel, in a lot of ways, it's good that Vogel took all the criticism for it because it took a lot of the pressure off of Paul George.
ESPN, everybody was all over Vogel, man.
Killed him.
Killed
him. It kind of got parroted, too. It so the Rock got rolling down the mountain there a little bit with this stuff, and nobody really took time to realize that, hey, okay, you know, you didn't need a shot blocker on the floor with less than 3 seconds left. 99 times out of 100, that play ends up in a jump shot. And I think Paul George had the most to do with the most culpability there. But again, Vogel I think it did him a solid there, taking all the criticism on himself so Paul didn't have to deal with it over the next couple of days.
If the Pacers, I'm glad you're here for this.
Win.
I mean, right now, it looks like they're about to win. Right? What is it? I can't even see anymore.
95-93
They're up by
with
2.
24 seconds left.
They got the ball.
Well, the Heat were trying to set up their offense, and the Pacers stole it.
What just happened?
Shot clock violation for
okay.
For
so Miami's gonna get the ball back. They got 17 and a half seconds.
Now we're almost now here. Look at this, Artie. Here we're in the same type of situation though. This is where you have Roy Hibbert in the game.
Right.
One shot for Miami, but there's 17 seconds left, so there is going to be a drive to the basket. This is the type of situation where Roy Hibbert will play. Last game under 3 seconds. LeBron's the only player in the league that can do that with one dribble. There's no other player out there that can one dribble to the basket and score with the left hand.
And he goes up. The strength he goes up with. I I mean, have you ever seen anything like that guy? I mean, in between, like in midair.
Carmelo Anthony's close.
Yeah, I mean, he's strong to the hoop, absolutely.
He's physical in that way, but he can't do all the things LeBron can do. I mean, he's unique in so many different ways. I mean, best player in basketball by
the
far.
way he goes through the air and almost carries the ball like a fullback for a little while and breaks through guys, and then just it's insane.
He's intimidating.
But John, you get what I'm saying though with the coach taking the pressure. Does that help a player?
I love
when
that.
the coach takes all the heat.
That. I mean, I think everyone felt that Frank Vogel was a great coach before that, but as a player, Andy Reid did it when we were in Philly. He always took the brunt of everything and said, "That's on me. I have to make sure we do that better." As a player, you love it. You always knew that Andy Reid would not sell you out.
And in a town, look, in a town like Philly, you got to do that because those fans, man.
Yeah.
If a coach in Philly hangs you out to dry with the fans, man, you're in bad shape.
Well, it's the media too, right? Because they'll come in there, and I'm saying I'm the media too. I do the same thing.
No,
you come in there, and you'll be like, "Hey, what happened on that play? What happened on that play?" Then there's the next wave of guys. What happened on that play? What happened on that play?
That's a good point. You never think. I mean, it takes people who know a little bit about playing to know that's also a coach's role.
Yeah.
A good coach's role to do that.
I love that Vogel did it, and it just makes me like him more. I mean, I liked him a lot before.
But
now I
But Chris, say the Pacers keep this lead and win. Okay, they get one in Miami.
They can win the series.
They could.
They can win the series. Look, they're phenomenal at home.
See, that excites me.
2 wins against Miami at home during the regular season, including one beatdown that I was at in early February. They've been very good at home
Pat
all
Riley
season.
looks worried.
He does look worried. Look, this series, I mean, you can make the case that Indiana has controlled the series for the most part, except for that brain fart they had at the end of that game. Yeah, it took a Herculean shot by Paul George at the end to get them to overtime in that game 1, but they've been physical. This has been Pacer basketball all the way long. Here we see LeBron James going for the basket.
This is fun watching.
And he turned it over.
Look at that.
Look
Beautiful.
at the defense, yeah.
Beautiful defense. The best defensive team in basketball.
They stole it from LeBron.
They stole it. They made him give it up. And in that play, Paul George played great defense.
Right.
Played great on the ball defense. Best defensive team in basketball in terms of defensive field goal percentage, the Indiana Pacers this year. Look at that. Stays right in front of them.
It's all over them.
David West with the tip. This is a great defensive team. Not a good defensive team, a great defensive team.
So how does it go now? They got 2 in Indiana and then 1-1-1?
2-2, 1-1-1.
Okay. See, wow, it's funny. In the old days, like, they would do 2-3-2.
Well, they do that in the finals.
They do
still. It's the old Celtic Laker rule.
All right, if they did that here, man, the Pacers. So you're saying the Pacers would have a shot of taking them to Indiana?
If it was 2-3-2?
Yeah, they're that good at home.
That good at home.
Where they could go and just take 3 from
the young teams, and this is probably true in any sport, but young teams are always better on their home floor, home field. Indiana, they just thrive off that home atmosphere, and they've been great. They were under 500 on the road going into the postseason, 19-21. During the regular season, but great at home overall.
So
and again, 2 wins over Miami during the regular season. 2
George
free throws.
Hill just made both his free throws,
possession
so
game.
now they're
So
up
it's a
by
game,
4.
right? So figure it. So really, like losing to Indiana at home in a 7-game series is not like losing to like a bunch of other teams. Given them,
Not like losing to Chicago. You know, Chicago beat them in game 1, but you knew that was rust. Knew Chicago didn't have the horses to hang with them over a series. They wanted to win in the next 4 games. You can't have that confidence going into a game 2 or game 3 in Indiana. I don't know where Miami gets any confidence right now. They lost 2 out of 3 against the Pacers in the regular season. They've been controlled for 2 games. And the key in this game, I've watched the first 2 games. The key has been Indiana's played big. Indiana always plays big. They played big in this series, and Miami's had to play big to them.
Right.
Miami usually makes everyone come down to them, play small to keep up with LeBron James. The Indiana's played their same guys. LeBron's had to play big. They've had to put Udonis Haslem more. They've had to play Chris Anderson more. It's been a different type of series.
Now, what color at this point do you think?
I'm distracted by the Mets jacket over there by James.
No, listen, James does. Our board op James does rock the Mets stuff. He does not care how pathetic it is. He does not care. That is the white trashiest Wally Backman fan, like just holding on to 86 Mets jacket I've ever seen.
I was gonna say that has to be an 86, 87.
You look like one of those like Irish guys from Queens with like orange socks. And like blue Pumas. I used to wear like a Tom Seaver Met jacket.
It's actually a year 2000.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Well, the year they lost to the Yanks. Right. Here we go. Hit a 3. Can we?
Chris Bott's not the
Bosh,
one.
no.
See you later. We're going back to Indy. We're going back to Indy
Did they-
tied up.
so
Indy-
1.6, it's over.
Chris, are you saying they did not run the play to where Bosch had a wide open three?
You know what's funny about the play that LeBron scored on the end of the game? He was the third option on that play.
Right.
It was Chris Bosh with a lob. It was Ray Allen coming around the perimeter, and it was LeBron was the third option.
How about that, guys? How about that for a team? LeBron was the third option.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right, because you got Ray Allen out there.
And you know what's funny is that I give credit to TNT. They showed this graphic that if Roy Hibbert was in the game last night, he would have been defending Ray Allen on that
Right.
particular play because it was a screen. Hansbrough had to switch on him. He's not defending Ray Allen. He would have lost Ray Allen halfway through the play, and Ray probably would have made the jump shot too. So, look, it wasn't a badly a coached play situation, just poorly executed, I think.
Who do you
Right.
think is a better? Who do you think's a better shooter at this point? Just pure shooters, Steph Curry or Ray?
That's a great question. I'm going to go with Ray Allen, but I think Steph Curry can do more things than Ray Allen.
No, he definitely can. My God, that kid is something else, man. I mean, how old is he?
23, 24.
I mean, that guy, if he stays on top of the game, he could become Jordan-esque. That guy.
I mean, he's almost a combination of Iverson and Reggie Miller in some ways because he has a little bit of both in him. He can score off the dribble, which not a lot of these guys do.
He's got a crossover.
Yeah, Ray and Reggie, they didn't score off the dribble. They could go to the basket every so often. They could score in the paint, but they couldn't cross you up and beat you that way. The reason that Golden State was so successful against San Antonio early on was because they kept putting Tim Duncan in screens. And Duncan's okay. One of actually the better pick and roll guys in terms of defensive screening in the NBA. But Curry, he comes around and he steps out, and Curry goes right around him with a crossover. He steps back, and Curry drills a three in his face. I mean,
he's got so many
ridiculous.
weapons, man.
He's unbelievable. And you know what? Minnesota could have had him at number 5. That's why the Minnesota GM got fired recently, because he took Johnny Flynn over Steph Curry in 2009.
Wow.
Bad pick.
Shane just told me he's
Steph
25 years old.
25.
Curry. Listen, that's young as hell. I mean,
But when Steph Curry was coming out, I mean, there were some questions about his durability.
Still
he's
are.
coming from Davidson. Yeah, absolutely. He was so slight. I mean, you look at him now, and he looks like a tiny little stick figure.
Well, how
coming
tall-
out of college from Davidson.
yeah,
he
he's
was
only
just
he's only 6'3".
Very skinny.
That's the problem.
so
that's why he couldn't.
so slender.
And he's 6'3", and he's not necessarily a point guard. I mean, he's gotten better at playmaking this year than he was the first couple of years. But you don't look at him and say, okay, that's a natural point guard. That's Derrick Rose. That's Chris Paul. That's somebody else. He's a shooting point guard. He's a scoring point guard. And he does still have those durability questions. He's got the ankle problems, and he's only played one full season really in his career.
Who would you rather have on your team, him or Rose, Derrick Rose?
I'd still rather have Derrick Rose.
Even with the injury and everything.
It's an ACL injury. This was a bizarre year, and I don't know why Derrick Rose didn't come back. It's, and believe me, I was covering it every single day, and it was annoying calling his friends all the time saying, hey, Derrick going to play tonight? Hey.
As a writer, when you realize, what you do is a dignified thing. You're a writer, but still, that's your job at that point.
Yeah. Hey,
that's got to be annoying.
Hey, Derrick's cousin, gonna play tonight? Hey,
And, how do
Derrick's
they
buddy,
react
gonna
after
play
the
tonight?
fifth
Usually,
night?
I switch to text messages towards the end. I'm like, you don't want to hear my voice.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear my voice.
It doesn't help when you go, hey, Derrick's cousin, instead of the actual
Final. 97, 93, Indiana
97, 93 Indiana. So they got a game in Miami, man.
got one.
I love seeing those Miami fans. I love that. They're disappointed. You jerk off.
Yeah, they care.
I know, they're all going back to their hot tub with their $20 million.
The Clevelanders open right now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're all going back to an ecstasy party at A-Rod's hot tub.
Yeah.
Did you see that jerk off selling
Yeah.
his place for $30 million
Yeah,
because
of
not
course.
enough privacy? Oh, you lead such a private life, A-Rod.
Yeah, to go out of your way to be private.
Did you see what's in that house? It was sold to a wealthy couple from Palm Beach who aren't into baseball, so they're tearing down his indoor batting cage. That's fine. But the batting cage has the light set to it, the exact same lighting that Yankee Stadium has. I don't know how you figure that out. The exact same lighting of a night game in Yankee Stadium is the lighting in his batting cage in a Miami mansion. Again,
Do you need that?
No,
I mean,
you don't need it.
is that
And
a little
again,
superfluous?
as a Yankee fan, you don't need it. I hate reading these stories. It aggravates the hell out of me, the money the guy has.
Yeah,
it
and
just
he's
annoys
making
me.
$15 million on the sale of the house, too.
Well, I mean,
$15 million. I mean,
I don't mind that. I mean,
money
listen,
begets
it's
money
America. I'd
for
rather
this
make
guy.
money in real estate.
Can you imagine what happens if this Miami new clinic stuff turns out to be true? You know,
But it is, isn't it?
It probably
Chris?
is.
It's gotta
But
be.
can you imagine if it's verified and MLB suspends him for stuff? His whole career would be nothing.
No, you're right.
If you get busted by SI back in 2009, you admit to doing a couple years, and you're still doing something,
still doing
and
it.
you're still doing it. How addicted must you be
Is
to
there-
this stuff?
And you're a writer, and these are your colleagues. Any writer voting for him in the Hall of Fame if that goes down?
No way. No way.
You think how many are going to vote for him now anyway?
They're not voting for McGuire. They're not voting for Bonds. The only thing you can say is that 25 years from now, when there's a new generation of writers
They might go,
who
"What the hell?"
who are
Yeah.
25 years old or whatever, younger, that didn't understand this at the current present time, maybe they'd vote for him. But this crop, absolutely not. Ain't
No
happening.
way.
Ain't
No
happening.
way. Yeah. I mean, you might look at. You're right. You think maybe 30 years from now, there's a generation that goes, okay, look. We're looking at that era as it was the era of steroids, and he happened to be one of the best ever in that situation.
Right.
To where maybe they let Barry Bonds and you forget about all that stuff. But I don't know, man. I think it takes even longer. I think it's 50 years down the road, and by then, no one might even care.
I have issues with the Mark McGuire thing.
You would, wouldn't you?
I do, man. Well,
Why? What's the matter?
My
What's the matter with the Mark McGuire?
the whole Sammy Sosa Mark McGuire thing. That was '98. That was my first year in the league. Did he get caught for anything more than the Androstine Dion?
Well, he copped to. I'm pretty sure he copped to doing more than that.
copped
McGuire.
everything
I
else.
remember when he came in the league, he was like a stick
No,
figure.
he had
compared
those.
to-
He did
was
those things,
doing
but when he became the Cardinals hitting coach, he copped to some stuff.
All right.
He
well,
did.
that's then. I
It was
don't
more
have
than
as
just
much
the
interest.
Andrews. No, it was more
my
than the
image,
Andrews.
my
Here's the
image of
thing.
my image of Mark McGuire is not him hitting that 60-second home run down the line in St. Louis and putting up his fist. And my image is him crying in front of Congress, like almost
Yeah.
crying.
Yeah.
That's what I
refusing
think
to
of.
answer questions
Yeah,
too.
you
I
know,
mean, come on.
That's what
Well,
I think of.
when it was the Androstine Dion thing, all the guys that I knew thought it was ridiculous that he was getting so much pressure, so much hatred on that front, because that was stuff that all of our strength coaches were, pouring down our throats. That was stuff from
I mean,
GNC
but-
that everyone
Right.
thought
He
was
admitted,
okay.
he admitted to using steroids. He admitted.
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that guy was.
But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying with the Andrew. Yeah, lots of guys were taking stuff that were sold to GNC that were just supplements.
Yeah.
But McGuire, I mean, like he was doing
All right,
all
well,
those
if he
guys were
copped
doing
it
He
it for him.
really got. I mean, if
He
you
was
look
enormous.
look at him as.
He was.
By the way, again, another thing. It's so sad. Him and Bonds are not. They would have been Hall of Famers anyway. I mean,
I don't know about
McGuire had 49 home runs his rookie year, man.
He did,
and he
but-
was like really thin.
Didn't he taper off though in like the early '90s or mid '90s? I know Bonds would have, because Bonds was so athletic. He was a base stealer.
could
He was
do
a
everything.
defensive
Was like
whiz.
Willie Mays.
Yeah, he was like
Yeah.
that. McGuire, I'm not so sure if.
No,
he might have been
you're right.
borderline.
No,
you know?
he wasn't a guarantee. You're right.
I always thought that McGuire was just huge because he was huge. Like his brother
Yeah.
played at San Diego State as a quarterback, right? He was like 6'10".
I never knew that.
Yeah,
he was
he did,
massive,
yeah.
like 6'10". He punted for him, was the quarterback for him, just a gigantor athlete. And I just thought McGuire just had it in the genes.
He also admitted to using HGH.
Yeah.
So
It gets worse.
He also
Yeah.
admitted to kidnapping young children.
All right, so I'm not defending Mark McGuire any longer.
You know what I don't
You want
get?
to start defending Sandusky while you're at it?
Right,
You know what I don't get, honestly, is that why guys don't just admit to it right away. I mean, Jason Giambi
Yeah,
did
they're
it.
gonna find
He's like, Jason
out.
Giambi's like, I did it. Rodney Harrison's like, yeah, I wanted to come back faster. I used HGH. Nobody remembers the Rodney Harrison.
Or the
admitted
Andy
to it.
Pettit move.
Andy Pettit. Yeah, I did it. It's all
Right.
over with.
People like-
the more
people-
you lie, the more the people care, and the more angry people get.
People
Yeah.
like a screw up. People like a screw up. Listen, I've got several homes on the Jersey Shore that proves that. There's a great documentary. I don't know if you saw. Did you ever see something called More Than a Game? It's from 2008. It's about LeBron James' high school team.
Oh, the St. Vincent. Yes, I did.
The St. Vincent,
St. Mary's.
okay.
Yeah, I did.
There's a great moment in that I'm surprised more people don't make a big deal out of. It's from 2008, before the decision, before he took his talents to South Beach.
Yeah.
His original high school coach, was really an amazing coach. And he left after their first year together, or maybe the second year together, to pursue a great opportunity to get a lot more money to coach on the college level at the University of Akron. And LeBron's on there in 2008 as an adult man before he took his talents to South Beach. And he's on this documentary saying how mad he is at the guy. He goes, I never wanted to see him again. I couldn't believe he made that decision. he was supposed to be loyal to us. Like, that's what I thought he was going to do, was be loyal to us. And no understanding about a guy making a decision based on, okay, he's an adult, it's more money, it's for his family.
Yeah.
It's a hard decision probably, but he had given him not an ounce of slack. And he did the same exact thing a year later. And I wonder if he ever made amends with this guy.
It's probably
and kind of said, hey, look, I kind of get what you're talking about now. People, people get mad.
Yeah.
People get mad at you.
It's probably the difference too of going from the guy was probably going from 30 grand to 75 grand. So meaningful money for the guy that's the high school to college
absolutely.
right there.
But way more than LeBron's level of me.
Yeah.
I mean, he said the guy, I never wanted to talk to the guy ever again because I felt it was a selfish decision. And think about a kid in Cleveland with nothing else to grab onto. Nothing else. I mean, think of that. Those poor girls were held hostage in that basement. They went down there in 2003. They also had to find out that LeBron was on the Miami Heat. They had to find that out.
He got drafted. Yeah, he got drafted when they went away.
Do you think that guy, as part of the torture, came down and said, "Listen, before I beat you up, LeBron went to the Miami Heat. He took his talents to South Bay." How about that Big Mac? Did you see the guy who helped rescue them with the Big Mac?
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
McDonald's gave him free.
Yeah.
It's not just McDonald's.
What a bunch of cheap bastards! Like, give him a couple of $1 million.
I
thought
free McDonald's for a year.
I thought it was a whole bunch of restaurants. Like, everyone is going to give this guy.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
There's a string of participating restaurants, but he only gets hamburgers. Like, everyone in the area, in the surrounding Ohio
No kidding.
vicinity. Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know. I didn't
He
hear
got
that.
a special card, and they have participating restaurants. So he has to pick the specific ones that he's allowed
I
to
give
go
him 2
to.
weeks before he loses the card.
Yeah.
And imagine going into a McDonald's, he doesn't have the card on him, and he's trying to explain. Like the person, I'm telling you, I'm the guy. Sir, we have no record of this. I'm telling you, I want a free French fry right now.
Oh, he doesn't get free French fries.
Everything free.
Just burgers.
They should give the guy a $5 million endorsement deal.
Yeah.
See, I'm always a negative guy. If I'm McDonald's, I don't want a hero like that guy to be doing something heroic with a Big Mac. I'd rather find Osama bin Laden eating Burger King. That's what I'd rather have happen. I like the negative stuff and then play up on that. Right, John? Do you think I have psychological problems?
Yeah.
I like the mudslinging.
A lot of people like that. I think New York likes that.
Okay, sorry. Listen, okay. Mr. Hate New York now. we don't get erections when we hate people. Yeah, I'm sorry. I actually haven't gotten a few erections over hatred.
Really?
No. When we come back, we're going to talk more with Chris. I want to get some more NBA stuff. And, if you guys, maybe for tomorrow, try to find a clip. Maybe you can find it now. It's called More Than a Game. And it's LeBron about 30 minutes in talking about this high school coach who took his talents to the University of Akron. As Chris said, to probably make, more than triple of what he was making coaching high school kids. Ridiculous. We'll be back with the Artie Lange Show.